Goodness comes and evil goes.
Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, Kimungo Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth. Karibu, welcome. My name is Kwende, and today we're going to get into another important subject, and that subject is language is an important part of remembering the self. On each of the channel videos, you'll hear the greeting Kimungo Ukombozi, which is two Kiswahili words, the first of which means divine, the second of which means liberty, liberation, or freedom. And it's a way of punctuating how African souls within this sphere can meet and greet each other, whilst at the same time emphasizing and energizing mission compelling duty and responsibility as a natural norm and all of the wonderful things that come with that. So language is key, and in remembering ourselves as a people, bringing forth our own linguistic tongue is an empowering phenomenon. In the earliest of times, Africans referred to their own language as the divine word. And that tells you how much of an importance language carries. It is actually the means of communication in honor of the Creator Supreme. And whether it's written or whether it's spoken, whether it's in architectural design or whatever, how we relate to each other, how we communicate with each other is part of what facilitates the building, the development of grand civilization, which has been the preserve of Africans for the longest of time. The greatest and the most long-lived civilizations have been brought into being by African souls. So language is important, and for many African souls around the world, we are imposed upon with foreign tongue. But even within that, we can pick and choose, select the best forms of communication, even with abject restriction. So it is important to elevate life. It is important to empower life. It is important to inspire life, to use language as a means of lesson learning, constructive criticism when necessary, and all of those things are part of what it means to have progressive language and communication, and surely the African must not lose sight of them. Speak the language of African betterment, whatever the linguistic form is. Speak the language of ascension, whatever the linguistic form is. And speak the language of African victory, whatever the language form is. Surely the African can do that. Surely the African ought to do that. And then, of course, there is the lived language, the language of how we conduct ourselves, the language of behavior, the language of uprightness, of order, of all of those things. Because our very being exudes language, expresses language. And likewise with the word, we can utter victorious expression. With ourselves, we can etch into the annals of the African continuum victorious conduct, victorious behavior. So language as a whole is an important part of remembering the African self. And with that, food for thought, and surely it is food for thought. Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, Kimunga Ukombozi, divine liberty, divine liberation, divine freedom, and all that that will bring for African people wherever we happen to be on the face of this earth.
The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top. The sun who has returned home, for Africans back on top.